Hi there. Today I'll briefly go over what dissociative identity disorder is by definition and diagnosis. Okay, the definition is a rare psychological disorder in which two or more personalities with distinct memories and behavior patterns apparently exist in one individual. So what does this mean to me, to us? I really like that it points out that there are behaviors aligned with certain personalities. It is fascinating for me figuring out which of my behaviors belongs to my alters and not to me. What I would like is for it to include that each alter has separate experiences and furthermore separate memories, like they say, which the definition does mention. Now for the diagnosis. Not quite the same as definition, but close. But just as important to understand. DID is diagnosed through criteria laid out in the DSM-5. And there are 5 criteria for diagnosis. Number 1. 2 or more distinct personalities, 2 or more distinct identities or personality states are present, each with its own relatively enduring pattern of perceiving, that's very important, they perceive alone, and relating to and thinking about the environment and the self. It's very much each alter is a different person. So let's break this down. 2 or more distinct personalities. I have 21, 22 including me. And the diagnosis refers to personality states, which contains basically its own pattern of thinking. Here's my question. So is it simply a pattern? Is the division of personalities only imaginary? I believe, depending on the therapist you work with, some will believe that it's the confusion of one individual being deluded to thinking that its brain is inhabited by many selves. But I think many therapists, too, believe it is not a delusion. They agree in the belief that there are separate alters and separate selves. This is a big deal. Okay, second diagnosis. Amnesia must occur, defined as gaps in the recall of everyday events, important personal information, and or traumatic events. Here I have some trouble with the definitions because, actually that's not true. I'm not that great on memory. I do have memory problems, but not necessarily like full-blown amnesia. I have problems with short-term memory. My train of thought suddenly stops, and I completely forget what I was literally just thinking of. It feels like the alters are ripping away my memory, though I have no idea how they would do that. I have one example of amnesia, and I have many others, but this is just one. I was making some ramen and smoking and going back and forth. And when out smoking, I opened up the carton, the cigarette carton, and inside was a packet of ramen flavoring. And I had no recollection of putting it there. In fact, I had memory of actually throwing it away. Criteria 3. The person must be distressed by the disorder or have trouble functioning in one or more major areas because of the disorder. Now, I have a problem with this too, particularly the need to be distressed. When I first was dealing with dissociation, it was a very real problem for me. And as you can imagine, it was very scary. But over time, I've become more accustomed to living with my alters. I still have a lot of problems, but my distress is lessened to a great degree. And because this, I'll be dealing with this my whole life. So I expect there will be some time when I don't feel distressed anymore. So if there is no distress, do we not call it a disorder? I don't know. I don't think so. Fourth criteria. The disturbance is not of normal cultural or religious practices. I like this one. It makes me think of possession and exorcisms. I don't know if they mean that. But when I was first dealing with my alters, it seemed very much to me to be a possession. I did think I was possessed by demons. But, I got reason prevailed, and I got over that. And I can maybe deal with that in my future video. But I would like to suggest that many who believe they are possessed may be dealing with some really nasty alters. Okay, the fifth criteria, this one's easy. The symptoms cannot be due to the direct physiological effects of a substance, such as blackouts or chaotic behavior during alcohol intoxication, or a general medical condition, such as complex partial seizures. Okay, thanks for watching today. I'll be making more videos, so watch that. And yeah, interesting stuff. Thank you for watching, and subscribe.